Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I rise also to support the member for Kennedy's excellent amendment. And I would add to the member for Clare's observation about the Great Dividing Range. There's one Australia on the east of the Great Dividing Range, and there's another Australia on the west of the Great Dividing Range. I'd say to the member for Clare, through you, Deputy Speaker, there's another dividing range, and that's Bass Strait. And this is a very significant issue for Tasmanians. That much of Tasmania, many Tasmanians live in rural and remote areas, and they also have great difficulties accessing reliable NBN. So this isn't just an issue for the bush, it's also equally, I think, an issue for Tasmania and Tasmanians. We have small settlements right around the strait, right around the coast, very small settlements on the west coast. I often go on holiday at a little place called Southport, the end of the Huon Valley, an hour and a half's drive south of Hobart. You get down there, that's as remote a part of the country as you could imagine, but it's where a lot of people travel. They go down there to holiday. We get a lot of tourists go down there. We get a lot of international visitors go down there. And people die down there because they don't have reliable access to the NBN or at least the phone system. So I think this amendment by the member for Kennedy's is seeking to move is sensible and entirely supportable. And I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't end up having it carried on the voices, because who could possibly argue with the idea that there should be a legal obligation on the NBN to provide affordable access no matter where you live in the country. Now, if I'd said that maybe as recently as a decade ago, I probably would have been put in my place by technical experts and saying, for heaven's sakes, Australia is a continent. You can't. It's just impossible that wherever you live, you should be able to pick up the phone or get on the internet. But the fact is, this is 2024. The technology has existed for years. The only reason some people in this country don't have affordable and reliable access to the internet is because of decisions by governments not to ensure it happens. That's the only reason there are people in this country that don't have affordable or reliable access to the NBN, including a great many Tasmanians right throughout the state of Tasmania. So I call on the government, I call on the opposition to get behind this amendment. It's not good enough, I say to the government, that they're working on it. I agree with the member for Kennedy. That's just a line we throw around in this place. It means we're kicking the can down the road, and hopefully you'll go away and stop mentioning it. So good on you, member for Kennedy. I reckon this is the time to get behind this amendment. And for the government, it doesn't have to be that the guarantee is in place tomorrow. There could be a timeline, a reasonable timeline, and we could give Australians the certainty that they, no matter where they live in this country, for safety, for access to government services, for access to banking, to be able to run a business these days, wherever they need to live in the country, particularly in rural and remote areas and right throughout Tasmania, that they will have that certainty. It is 2024 after all. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank the member for Clark. The question is that the amendment